The finale of the FIA Karting European Championship for gearbox racers comes from Adria in Italy, the scene of last year's season opener. And in the intense Venetian heat, nobody will be able to take things easy in this bubbling cauldron of a race weekend. With both KZ and KZ2 categories reaching their climax and the Academy Trophy continuing its 2021 story, there's plenty of action on the horizon and many battles to be won. The Academy Trophy is looking likely to be the most open and competitive the category has ever been, with drivers gathering from all over the world to claim victory. With multiple race winners so far across the heats, the battle will be very close in the final, and nobody is certain as to who will take advantage. The stage is set for an epic showdown, with the title contest heating up. Maciej Gladys led Oleksandr Bondarev away at the start of the final, whilst Ivan David and the fast-starting Riccardo Iannello put themselves into a strong position, and Renault Franco fell back down the field to begin a tough fight back. Bondarev wasn't hesitating and took the lead from Gladys into turn 3, and as the two duelled into the braking zone for the hairpin, David sensed his chance to claim the lead from both of them. He dived for the inside line and drew level, but didn't quite have the space to finish the move and elected to consolidate third position. After all, there was plenty of laps still to run. By the end of the lap, Gladys was leading, and David and Iannello had both made their move to rise to second and third positions. The pole's lead was brief, however, as Ivan David picked his moment and soared ahead, having worked his way back from the 7th row of every heat during the weekend. Heading into the third lap, Gladys decided to fight back and found the overtaking move into turn 3. But having taken so long to make his way back to the front, Ivan David wasn't prepared to give up so easily and fought back valiantly. He tried an identical move to his previous attempt, and predictably, it resulted in the same outcome. Iannello was stepping up to the plate on home soil and made his move instead, moving up to second in turn 4, a chance to score a podium in Italy too tempting to resist. It wasn't the only battle on track, as Luca Neuenschwander of Brazil and Denmark's David Walter pushed each other intensely for the place. But no matter how hard Walter forced his hand, the Brazilian wasn't prepared to concede. It was fairly inevitable that the move would occur soon, and as the Danes surged ahead, Leo Robinson behind them also moved forward. And that was just the start for the plucky Algerian. He soon made his bid for the manoeuvre on Neuenschwander, and it worked out through turn 2. That motivated the Brazilian yet further. He returned the favour within an instant. Behind them, the battle would continue between Slovenia and South Africa, as Mark Kastelic and Nicolas Roos were locked in a similar scrap. But it was game over for Argentine star Stefano Cagnolo, who joined France's Augustin Bernier on the sidelines. Gladys was keeping his lead constant ahead of Iannello and David, with Oleksandr Bondarev still safe in P4. But David was now under investigation for jumping the start. If guilty, he'd receive a 3-second penalty. Neuenschwander was still up against it, this time trying to fend off from Leon Zelenko of Croatia. And into turn 9, not only did Zelenko make the move, but on the exit, he ensured that there would be no retaliation. There was one last bid to close in on Gladys, as the home fans were hoping to see an Italian driver on the top step of the podium. Iannello was giving it everything he had. David wasn't far away, just in case something happened. The three drivers were so easily matched that they were trading fastest sector times to close up or pull clear, and it became a race of stalemate between the three young stars. It was at this point that it became apparent that David would inevitably face a penalty, as the report was already well underway, which would eventually drop the Sri Lankan to 5th position. Into the final lap, and Gladys had made it clear he wasn't going to make any mistakes. And as the Sauber Academy driver closed out the race for a deserving victory, there would be more trouble elsewhere. In the intensity of the midfield battle, Federico Al-Rifai and Leon Ochai would retire in the same place on turn 9 and end their chances of a strong points finish. With the Japanese fuming and unhappy at the side of the road, the marshals were desperate to clear the circuit before the leaders came through. They managed it with seconds to spare, allowing Maciej Gladys, the Polish youngster in the lead, to taste victory in fantastic fashion, to move to the top of the points standings with 1 round to go, and to become the first Polish driver to win a final in the FIA Karting Academy trophy in the current format. The joy was clear for all to see, and with a solid advantage heading to Sweden, there were plenty of reasons to celebrate. Riccardo Iannello claimed second at home, and David's penalty would indeed demote him behind Bondarev and Walter, with Robinson ahead of Zelenko and Neuenschwander, whilst Mark Kastelic and Romania's Darius Babiawana would complete the top 10. David would climb the podium before handing his trophy to Bondarev, Iannello would celebrate in front of his family and home crowd, and Gladys would savour the spoils of Poland's first Academy win.
The first few laps was very hard for me because two drivers passed me, and after I was stay calm, I overtake these two drivers, and I'm looking forward, and yeah, I won. I will do my best in Kristianstad to win the championship.
The final is so hard because I'm starting in the P7, and the first corner I am in the second position behind the Maciej, and the last is 3 laps. I'm trying to do aggressive, but I'm not going to very well. I'm finished second, and I'm really happy.
In the final, I had a great start. I was in P2, but then I made a really early move on Maciej, and then he came back on me. Then Ricardo and Jevan came past me, and then in P4 I couldn't be faster. I was just trying to catch the top 3, but it wasn't just enough.